Hey, this is Nyros. My recreation of my childhood failed, Night Lord. When I was a kid, I didn't know a thing about stats, builds, or how to properly play and progress in this now 20-year-old mushroom game. So now I plan on making things right and achieve every single goal I had as a kid and get myself to level 120. This is my road to greatness. On the previous episode, we wrapped things up with
It's
this.
said that these rare Gashpon tickets, when you use them on a normal Gashpon here, you can actually get like very good prices. And we won't know until we find out. So let's give it a try. Alright, we are back. So by the end of the last episode, we finished at level 15 and we actually did some Gashpon fun. The items we got are the Poo Poo Shovel. I need to be honest with you guys, I've never seen this item before. It's a spear, a level 105 spear, and we got an elemental staff 6, below average. So I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with these items, but they are safely stored here. I don't plan on selling them now, and I would like your guys' opinion on that.
As you guys saw, with these items we got from the Gashpon, I realized that I didn't know what to do with them. When I came to think about it a little bit more, I didn't clearly have my goals properly set for this. So it's time for me to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Whenever we are about to start something new, or have to prepare for a situation you have no control of, what do you think is the most important thing to do first? It's information. Gathering intel and knowledge are the most important assets when it comes to strategy. That's what every isekai anime and war documentary has taught me so far. You need to know about the environment you're about to face and know your enemies well enough so you can prepare accordingly. This is a lesson for life as well. So first, let's talk about my class. As I mentioned in the previous video, Night Lord is the highest single target DPS class in this game. Its kit is so well designed that by the end of their job, Hermits can farm a shit ton of Mesa with Mesa Up, Avenger, and Shadow Partner. Alchemist also helps to reduce costs with potions while increasing their efficiency, and you get Shadow Web to bind enemies for a somewhat better mobbing experience. At 4th job, with the addition of Triple Throw, you literally have a high mobility machine gun jumping around. But besides all of that, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Besides the low HP pool that makes Night Lords known as a glass cannon, they have another downside. They are a projectile class, which means that for a Night Lord to be consistently doing damage, they need ammo. In this case, they need throwing stars. There's a good phrase said by Eminem that sums up very well what I'm trying to say here.
When he's out of bullets, so what good is a fucking machine gun when it's out of ammo?
Night Lords were not designed for long-lasting battles. Even if you fill up your inventory with throwing stars, you still need to have slots for potions. So for bosses like Zakun, that you have a limited amount of daily entries, limited amount of time to defeat the boss, which means a DPS check, soloing him is almost impossible.
But you forgot that Night Lords have another OP skill. They have Shadow Stars that only consumes 200 stars to throw an infinite number of stars for 200 seconds.
Yeah, I know. But to begin with, Shadow Stars will only be as effective once it is maxed out. That's not a permanent solution. Shadow Stars will only increase the window for us to kill the boss. But when we are talking about bosses with tons of thousands of HP, the chances of us running out of stars are still very high. Now, let's talk about gear. As you guys know, due to my previous experience as a dumb kid, I became somewhat of a dexophobic, which means I won't be assigning any AP into dex. Unlike warrior gear that doesn't require dex for you to equip, thief gear actually requires a lot of dex. I think that warriors might be the only class that doesn't require a secondary stat to equip gear, if I'm not mistaken. The fact that we are going dexless narrows down what type of equipment that we can use. The more concerning part is the weapons we can use. Weapons are the main source for damage in this game. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at all the claws available in the game right now. As you guys can see, from all the options we have, the Gardener is not only the weakest but the slowest claw in the game. The next viable and great option will be the Meba. Its attack speed is the highest. Only one problem is, the Meba requires 50 dex, which is a huge amount of dex for a level 25 claw. If we put things in perspective, since level 10, we would have acquired 75 AP in total. We already have 25 dex required for the job advancement, so we will need to spend another 25 to equip the Meba. That's 1/3 of the total AP we got. And since dex doesn't scale Lucky 7's damage, which is our main source of attack at this point, in my opinion, the difference in weapon attack solely is not worth it. The other claw being the Maple Claw, Condyle, Shinobi Bracer, and the Skanda. Only the Shinobi Bracer is not locked behind an event, but even still, it's a drop from Gashpon, so it's locked behind RNG. The Maple weapons are only available during Maple anniversaries, and at the time I'm recording this video, we've just missed it. So we could farm to get dex scrolls to get extra dex on the other equipments we have to equip the Meba, but to get extra 25 dex from various sources and various mobs, I think if we take time in consideration, we would be at least level 50. So I kinda came to terms with how I wanna deal with this in the series. Gashpons are a world drop, which means they normally drop from mobs. So every now and then, we will be opening Gashpons and gaining items, weapons, or scrolls. As I mentioned before, the series is about me playing this game with the knowledge that I have today. Back then, I was also terrible when it came to making money from trades as well. If I were to describe myself, I would be the kid who bought expensive stuff because it looked cool, and I sold expensive items for cheap because I had no knowledge or thought they were ugly. So, yeah, I don't want to make those mistakes again. I want to become a somewhat decent merchant. But the thing is, I don't want to spoil the fun and the challenge of the series. After taking some time to think about things and discuss with some people on Discord, this is how the series is gonna go when it comes to buying and selling things from FM. I'm allowed to list and sell items that I get from monsters and Gashpon. The money that I get from those sales will be deposited into a separate bank. I'm only allowed to use it to buy equips that are locked behind events or RNG. In some, I'm only going to be using this money to buy weapons. That's an incentive for me to try to make as much money as possible because 30% scrolls are farmable here. And they drop from mobs, and I do intend on making a very good weapon with them. You know the drill, 30%, they have a tendency to make things go boom boom, so it's a good thing to have spare items. Capes, helmets, scrolls, throwing stars, all of that, I still have to farm them by myself. With all that said, we know how to properly plan for our next moves. Right, this series has proven to be way more challenging than I thought it would. As you guys can see on the background footage, I lost the footage from level 15 to level 18. I've been running into this problem with my ADHD that I click on record, I think it is recording, and it's not recording. And turns out it was a mess. Like, it was a very big mess. But just so you guys know what happened, I decided to stay at Hennessy's hunting ground until I reached level 17. By level 17, I came back to the map that we are training right now and decided to finish the quest from Dark Lord to kill the 10 octopus. And when I finally figured out that I could kill those guys, like, decently enough, like, I say that decently enough, but I ended up dying, but when I say decently enough, it's like I can two-shot them, because my main concern was not spending enough resources on potions, just so I could properly farm, even if that means staying on weaker mobs for a little while. But anyways, what happened was, even with that footage as well, like the footage from level 18 to 20 something, I don't know any yeah, I kind of forgot. But what happened was, this footage didn't record my voice. And you guys can imagine my face when I opened the footage of a 3-hour long killing spree of everything and I found out that I didn't have any voice. Like,
I was very mad. To be honest, I literally almost thought about quitting everything, but instead of whining and crying over things, I try to live by the saying that when life gives you lemon, you just try to make lemonade out of it. So, my main challenge for this clip was how can I turn a 3 hour long video footage of me just killing mobs and into something interesting. And I would not be doing voiceovers for everything, even though I'm doing it right now. But I just don't think that's kind of interesting. And I want this to be not only a series that is going to challenge me as a player, but to be something that I can gain something from this experience. So I'm doing this on my free time as my hobby. And I wanted to become a good editor. I want to know how to edit, how to express my creativity. Because, as I said on the first video, we just have like such a chaotic lives as an adult that I need something to just distress. And I decided to came up with an idea of, okay, how am I gonna make this like footage of me just like killing mushrooms in deep sleep wood into something that is gonna be enjoyable for you guys to watch, because I just don't want to dump footage and just voice over things. And actually it's gonna be engaging, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be challenging. So I kind of came up with this.
Mission successful.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Jackpot. So 107 for 10 mil, 110 for 25 mil, 100 for 4.4, 110 10 mil, 110 24, 110 10 mil, 100 2 mil, 106 8.5. Well, yeah. Mine is 106, so I can actually try to sell. Alright. We are back to Sleepywood. Right now we are level 23. We just finished that marble quest. the jump quest on the haze. What we're gonna be doing now is collecting some extra charm of the undead, just so we can do the quest line for the cape, and as well as grinding these, uh, let's say 1.5 levels until we're level 25, and then we are out of here. I'm just a little bit concerned because after here, we are gonna be staying at Wild Wars for a long while. I intend on staying there from level 25 to level 35 because Wild Wars, it's a very good source of income, and we do actually need to farm a little bit of meso as fast as we can, just because right now it's been only a couple of weeks since the end of the anniversary event, and maple weapons, they are just fresh in the market, right? As the event just finished, you can find maple weapons on the free market for sale for quite a low price. And what I'm planning to do is actually being able to buy one. As I said before in the intro, I can only buy clean weapons. I have to split it myself. But the main thing is, I'm gonna be buying a weapon for cheaper, and as time goes on, I actually might be able to sell that weapon for a higher price than what I bought. So I would be actually profiting from this purchase. So I need to make as much money as I can right now so I can put this plan into action. And since Wild Wars they do drop like quite a lot of weapons, I can sell those weapons as well. Off of and that marks over 100 luck, 1 point to dark side, nimble body goes to 10. Um, I'm actually debating what I'm gonna do. If I am gonna be maxing out dark side, or will I get like 20 accuracy? These we don't actually struggle that much with accuracy, but having that 10 extra accuracy, having that 10 extra accuracy actually would be beneficial.
Alright, so this is the part that I actually wanted to go to FM to open up a shop so we could sell, at least try to sell those two items that we got from the Gashmon. Um, if I wanted to finish this video in a way that I actually wanted, it would take me more than a month to finish it, and I actually don't like playing the game while I'm editing, so for the time that I've been editing this video, I haven't played, so I'm gonna save some footage because I actually ended up on level 26. That was like the last level I got. Fun fact, we actually went to Wild Wars. We stayed there for a while, made some money, but I actually finished Maya's quest to get the brown bamboo hat. So right now we are actually just buying up a shop and we're gonna try to open it to sell the items that we got so we can make money. In one of the previous clips that I uploaded here, you guys heard me saying that I wanted to go to Wild Boars so we could farm some money, but in reality is I realized later that I was like, oh wait, I cannot use the money that I've been farming from monsters to actually buy weapons. So that's when I figured out like, oh shoot, I have to open up my shop as soon as possible just so I can make money and actually buy it. So that's why I went so quick. Like I stopped everything that I was doing to go to the shop. I actually used Yao earlier just so I could check out like, okay, how much is this thing really worth it? Because this is an item that I've never seen before, and the elemental staff is actually shit. Like it's not worth anything. Um, some of the people that I've been talking to said like Caslo, that's an NPC, just NPC that is below average. Nobody's gonna buy it. I'll attempt to list it for just like a little bit over the price that it is on the NPC, just so I can see if I can actually gain something from it. But I don't have my hopes up for it. So yeah, I think this is a really good point for me to end up this episode. I have a lot of things saved, a lot of things that I want to try, and I hope you guys enjoyed. It took me a little while. That was my first time editing. That just like I just wanted to point out that this series has been so fun. I've been learning a lot. I would like to take a moment to actually thank you guys for the support on the previous episode. Like the first episode, I had so many people commenting on it. I was not expecting that. And yeah. See you guys later and goodbye.